Choosing the best paintbrushes for your next project isn't always an easy decision. After all, different effects require different tools, so it can be difficult to know which to use. To simplify the process of choosing paintbrushes, I make two major distinctions. One, the type of hair the paintbrush has, and the other one is the shape of the brush. The first type of brush is bristle. Bristle brushes are made of thicker, stronger and sometimes rougher hair. They originally came from animals such as wild hogs and were known sometimes as hog's hair brushes. But now, synthetic bristle brushes are very common. Bristles are great because they can hold a lot of paint and they react well with the canvas. And they are very good for covering large, broad areas. The second type of brush are sable brushes. They are a much finer and softer brush and can be used even for watercolour. Sables can be made from soft animal hair such as the mongoose or mink, but mostly today they are made of soft synthetic fibres. Sables are great for blending edges and creating softer and more subtle paintings. They're also very good for adding fine detail and finishing touches. There are three paint brush shapes. Three main shapes of brush. The first one is called flat. And you can have a flat angled brush as well, but flat brushes. The second one are called filbert. And the last and third are known as round brushes. Flat brushes have a rectangular shape and they make square-shaped marks. And if you put them on their side, they can also make chisel-like lines, especially if you're using a sable flat. I use flats mostly to model form. Square-shaped marks are great for defining planes, the form of a figure, or portrait painting. The second most common type of brush is a filbert. Filberts are a combination of both round and flat. They have the rectangular shape of a flat brush, but also come to a point like a round brush. Because of their unique shape, filberts can create a wide variety of marks. I would use filberts throughout the entire painting. The third common brush shape is round. Round brushes are shaped like sharp teardrops or large needles. Rounds can be used for drawing and for making drawing-like marks. I often begin my paintings with a small round brush to draw with and then use larger rounds to fill larger areas. Another useful addition to your brush set are larger brushes. They're very good for applying gesso when you're priming a canvas, but they're also very good for filling in broad areas. Obviously it depends on the size of your canvas. I have worked on canvases which were 20 foot by 30 foot and happily used 4-inch and 2-inch house brushes in order to get the whole thing blocked in. So it very much depends on the scale of your canvas, what size the tools are. But large brushes of all kinds are usually very useful. Equally, the opposite sizes for very fine detail, especially in portraiture. People will use very, very soft, very fine, very small sable brushes. They are fantastic for adding very, very fine detail. And you'll probably need one at one stage or another, so good to have within this set. So, build up your brush set over time. Mix and match the three different types of brush, flat, filbert and round, and use appropriate sizes for different areas of the paintings. Remember, the only way you're going to master your tools is with practice, and finally, a little bit more practice. There's no other way and no shortcut. The sign of a really good professional artist is someone who looks after their tools and cleans their brushes really thoroughly and preserves them for future use. I couldn't stress it enough. We used to use old-fashioned solvents, not exactly what you would call green and environmentally friendly, like white spirit and turpentine substitute, and they're smelly and messy and get in the way, I think. But today we have alternatives. We have a thing called clean spirit, which has little or no odour and cleans the brushes very thoroughly. But the first thing you do is you must wipe off all the excess paint after you've finished. This is either with oils or acrylics. Wipe off all the excess with a paper towel and do this thoroughly. Do it until you're satisfied that the brush hasn't got any big lumps of paint on it. Then use the solvent, use the clean spirit. It's widely and freely available. You can get it online. And I've suggested here a certain commercial type. And give it a good thorough cleaning. Give it a good thorough cleaning. And then finally, you can get specialised soaps, which cost about £5-6, and they're a lovely smell to them as well, so worth using. You can use the what's known as a painter's soap to really clean the brushes afterwards and then dry them off again with a paper towel. But you should take time with this. I see people after they finish painting, they give no thought whatsoever to the fact that they have to clean everything up, especially if you're using oil paints. It's easier with acrylics. That's why they were invented, because you really just need soap and water and a good thorough wash. Always wash from the bottom of the brush up in one stroke. That's the best way to do it. But if you look after your brushes, they'll look after you. I know it's a cliche, but a real craftsperson will always value the tools.